Good morning. Calling to order the regular meeting of the Brattleboro Housing Partnerships on December 15th, 2026, 4:30 on Zoom.
Good evening.
We've got some minutes to review. Alicia can't be here, so I'll chair the meeting until, and if she hops on, then she can take over. But so we have minutes to review from October 27th regular meeting, the November 13th special meeting, and the November 17th annual meeting. Does anybody have any questions or corrections to the minutes?
No discussions or anything.
Then can I have a motion to accept the minutes?
I move we accept the minutes of the three meetings.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
No one opposed? Thank you. There's no resident or public participation at this moment, but I'll check again before the end of the meeting. So staff reports, executive director report. Thank you for the written report.
I'll just do a brief overview. So the health insurance information was distributed to staff. I've gotten all of the forms back, and I will say that it looks like we will see a real reduction in our costs for the next year, which is great. We've seen that some people either move to different plans, like partners plans, or chose like I have an employee that lives out of state and they chose that plan through a different state. And then we also had some people just take a couple people off, like maybe like a partner off their plan. So we will see reduction. So that will help the budget's bottom line. I, as I meant, so we have met with HUD and we did find out today that we do have fair cloth units for the property, and we actually have 80, which is higher than we thought. And so Chris Hart and myself will be learning about this program that converts fair cloth units into new development. And so we'll be working on that. The program is called Restore Renew. It's a HUD program. Um, so we'll be working on that over the next couple of weeks, and I'll keep you updated as we go. We spoke to Rotary about this project last month. Dan Riddlehoover and I went, and he did an excellent job talking about the project. We got a lot of really great feedback, and it was people were really interested in it, and some great questions, but people were very positive. We have a staff person who has been out on absence, and hopefully he'll be returning in the next couple of weeks. But in the meantime, Keegan Rafalo has been stepping in, and he's done an excellent job managing the maintenance team during this absence. And other than that, we'll be reviewing at the meeting our annual capital plan and our moving to work supplemental plan. This will be the public hearing, and then we will vote on it at the early in the month. I think you also saw that we have the board calendars in here, so we should approve that if possible. That's it. Any questions for me?
Don't think so.
Okay.
I'm very excited about the 80 vouchers that are possibly able to be used.
Yeah, it's great news.
Occupancy director report with potential write-offs. Anything to say before we discuss the write-offs?
Pretty straightforward. We had unfortunately a few people who passed away, and these are funds that were on their account. And then we had an eviction that was pretty costly, which was $8,972.72, and that was a non-payment eviction,
Yeah.
an eviction for non-payment. So,
Looking at the move out report, the green sheet there and the percentages that are circled. And it looks like the lowest percentage is right now 53.5%. So all of if I'm reading that right, all of the buildings are above half of the rents are being collected, right? And most of them are in the 80s and 90s.
yeah, so that's a big increase from what we had a year ago. And Ledgewood, which is the lowest, I believe, at 53%, will be increasing once we have these write-offs. These write-offs, I think there's one for 5,000 and one, so one for 5,100, one for 8,900. And so a total of 14,000 will come off of the, what's owed. And so next month we should hopefully that will go up substantially.
Great.
So Christine, quick question. These are accounts receivable current, not anything that's pending or that's coming in?
What do you mean?
Are these just the actual numbers? Like, in other words, this is funding that you received currently. Are there anything else that's pending that you're waiting on to come in?
Are you talking about the write-offs, Gary, or are you talking about
Oh, for the collectibles that you're going to probably be collecting also down the road. You're just waiting on for, checks to clear or something like that, or anything from someone else.
all of this is this is a point in time. This was 11/1 through 11/30.
Okay.
So if you look at the report, the green sheet, that was for the month of November. So
Okay.
the end of the month. So if we printed it out today, it would look different.
Okay. Yeah, 'cause I didn't know if there's any other coming in that's pending, when you have
There's
some
always
money.
something pending.
Oh,
I mean, we
yes,
get checks
yes.
every day of the month. We get paid every day. So
Yeah,
like,
that's
people
good.
pay their rent. We get rent payments pretty much every day of the month. People don't
Oh,
always pay in
gotcha.
the beginning of the month. So we have people who send in late stuff. So does that answer your question? Like, yeah.
Yeah, because sometimes even with the town, they're just waiting. They have it is counted, but it's just pending, if you know what I mean.
We won't count it unless it's in the count. Like once it's deposited and then it's added to their account. We don't have anything that would be pending. Like we wouldn't we won't put it on the books until we have it.
Okay.
Yep. But the payments, so it's two pieces. There's the green sheet and then the write-offs. The write-offs we know we won't get. Like they'll stay on the book. We'll keep a record of them. They'll always be there. That those accounts will owe us that money, but we'll write it off of our accounts because we know that we're never going to get it.
Right, that'll reflect on that. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So that brings us to the write-offs. On the bottom of the agenda, we can see the amounts. The total amount is $17,850.20 for Hayes Court, Ledgewood Heights, Samuel Elliott Apartments, and Red Clover Commons 2. I have a motion to approve the write-offs.
Motion that we approve the write-off. We're waiting for a second.
Pat's trying to unmute.
Ah,
There I go. Yeah, I second it. I
Thank
better keep that
you.
on roll.
All in favor of approving the write-offs?
aye.
Any opposed? Thank you.
Great, thank you.
Passes. Okay, program and occupancy data review. Big chunky report here. Just so the people on Zoom know, this is the income in, summary for LEAF participants and the rent that they're paying. which is favorable, their average income, their average rent, seeing that the program is working. And flip pages here. An average rent for non-lease households, an average income from non-lease households. Activity at the different sites like blood pressure clinics, food insecurity, activities, social isolation, combating mental health and youth activities. And the last page has the Thanksgiving holiday leap and Sash for All worked with the Brattleboro Rotary Club to ensure that youth ages 10 to 18 had access to healthy breakfast and lunch options. And looks like served more than 50 youth.
If Sam
67.
Elliott looks down on the activities because our coordinator has been, because of family health issues, that's why it looks like we haven't done anything. But
Yeah, we have
our
a
coordinator
staff
has
person
been
that's been out of the office.
out of the office, so that's why we haven't done anything.
And so I will say, I'm really impressed by the staff and what they've done for this lunch program.
Mm.
So this program is way above and beyond their job description. I mean, this program really should fund somebody in the community, like a resident cooking meals and preparing or helping to do this. And we haven't really been able to secure a resident volunteer in a while. But they did identify that it was such a need. And they really didn't want the kids to not have these extra meals during the holiday break. And so they served a lot of, a lot of meals in a short period of time. And preparing these, it took a lot of extra work. And so I'm just really, really proud of them and really grateful of them. I mean, they even hand delivered them to people's houses for them. So
Wow.
yeah.
Have you mentioned that? I don't know if the Loaves and Fishes or Bridges maybe kitchen.
Yeah, we have talked to them to see if they wanted to provide the meals. So this is Rotary funds these programs and they help to secure some of the donations, but we haven't been able to get them to donate specifically to come to our property and specifically, do what this type of meal production.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Resident services report, newsletters and calendars. Tips for health and connection in the winter time. And a little bit of information on Melrose at the bottom of one of those. So people are informed. It's great. Anything else on that? Okay, moving on to financial review. Our October 2025 comparable.
So I'll say if you look at the first page, our reserve, so you'll see, so the operating account, which is that first line on the bottom, which is the general checking account, that's owed a substantial amount of money from various other accounts. So you'll probably see in the next month when we get this, that there'll be transfers. The BHOI owes us money as well as the Section 8 program. And you know, so we'll be, we're sending that money over to that main operating account in the next month. So you'll see that. Other than that, right now we're in a good place, but I'm just reminding the staff, the board that we are still not into the main snow season. We've had one major storm so far. So that isn't on here. And we also, our electric bill will go up a lot in the next couple of months as well. So, but overall, I think that we're in a good place. I think also since the board made those changes with the employee benefits, we'll see that sort of start to level out a little bit in the next couple of months. And by next year, it will definitely help. Um, Other than that, our maintenance costs will be a little bit higher than normal. We needed to, with one of our maintenance people, our main maintenance person being out, on leave, we brought in a part-time person who had retired. Phil, graciously came back a little bit, so he's been working to help out. And we also have brought in Bob Mundell, who also is doing some turnover work for us. He's another employee who had retired. So, we did need to add them to the payroll. So we'll be seeing the impact of that.
Can you remind me, or maybe this is a question for another time, when we made changes for A.W. Richards for the I think it was like the interest rate, basically.
A new loan. We took a new loan, and so that the interest rate went down. Yeah.
Where will we see that on the comparative? Do you know?
So it'll be, let me look at it. So if you look at page, I don't even know if it's on here, but if you look at page 15, I don't know if it's going to show up specifically there, but it should be under debt.
So maybe it's that debt service line at the bottom.
Yeah.
Oh, principal and interest payments.
Yeah. So you'll see right there, we had estimated 63,000. We should be at 52,000. We're only at 34,000. So there is definitely a savings there. I'm not sure if that's all the savings or if it's just that it's behind a little bit, but I can definitely ask James and see where we're at. But I would assume that that is where we would see the savings, and I'm assuming that partially part of that is from from that loan.
Right. No, that's enough for me. I just wanted to know that.
Mhm.
Anything else on the comparable? How about the check listings? We had some checks that were over $10,000 and that our process worked for that for a little extra review. Questions on the check listings? Comments? Okay, and check signing assignments. We have January is Chair Underwood and February Commissioner Stroud. We need March.
Well, Pat is right now, so
Okay. And I think Susie is last time or something.
mhm.
So I can do March.
Okay. Thank you.
I'll do April.
Okay, thank you,
Awesome.
Pat.
Great.
Great, thank you.
Okay. Melrose special projects update. Now moving on to item number 6. Melrose redevelopment update. Anything to say, Christine?
Yeah, I will say, so right now we're in the process of working with DEW around the just cost estimates. So they're still receiving information from the architect, and they're still putting together those cost estimates. I'll also say, Michelle, that you had brought up at the last meeting, at the last Melrose Terrace meeting. I pulled it out specifically. Oh, here it is. we talked about timeline. And so we got a pretty decent, Dan sent us a timeline. I don't know if he sent it to you as well, but so we have a better understanding of where we're at. And so right now we're in the process of um still completing, even though we've gotten the majority of the funding, we're still in that stage. We're also next, and we're in the process of this as well as the organizational and the legal. That's going to carry on until the closing. We're really looking at a closing midsummer. And then starting to build, we're looking at closer to like end of summer. And so then occupancy in summer 2027.
Great.
Yep. And I didn't get this in time to get it into the board packets, but I will give you a copy of this for the whole board for next month, really just like the outline of the timeline. And then just to give you an update, so the board I'm sure the board remembers that we had hired consultant Maggie Foley to come in and work with staff around the relocation of the offices and to make sure that they understand the Melrose Terrace project, and then also what that will mean for capacity to have another additional 31 units, and also the relocation of the offices. And so we were snowed out. The day that we were supposed to all meet was the day that we had that snowstorm last Tuesday, or a week ago, Tuesday. I don't remember. It was like recently. But we will be meeting tomorrow. So we're starting tomorrow. So we're back on time, our timeline. So I think we're in good shape for that. We are also starting to look at places. I'm meeting with someone from the town on Friday, and we have a couple of other people working with us to look for places. Chris Hart's putting together a like one pager of like sort of like based on what the needs are of the staff and what our organizational needs are, so that we can give that to people when we're doing this work. So that's really one of our biggest focuses right now is trying to secure an office space. And so, yeah. And the board will be pulled in to have a discussion as well, like once the staff is done with this. So just keep that on your radar that we'll be asking the board to come together to do some planning around this as well.
Thank you. Special projects, the safety, the surveillance cameras, it's like those were purchased and installed.
No, not yet. That was I think so when we met the last time before our annual meeting, we had presented it to the board, and the board had decided to wait to decide whether or not they wanted to do the
Oh, right.
cameras.
Yeah, we wanted to see
You wanted to decide
health insurance.
Yes. And so I'm bringing it back to the board to see if we wanted to make a decision today whether or not to go forward with this. So I'll give you two pieces of information. So the first piece of information is this is something we could use our reserve account for. So at the end of the year, we could use our reserves. We have plenty of reserves. We have over $1 million. I think if we look at that sheet, right now we have, as of the end of October, we had $1.8 million in capital, 1,081,717 in RAD replacement reserves. So we could use this. This would be considered an eligible expense. So this wasn't something that you budgeted for, but we did. But we could use that. And I talked to James about it today, and he felt comfortable with that. So if the board feels comfortable, we'll go forward. I just want to remind people that this is not the whole Hayes Court. The whole Hayes Court cameras would be over $80,000. So we're only doing it piece by piece.
Gary?
Yeah, I didn't know if you wanted to wait for the full board to be on board on this, or you just want to vote tonight. Is it, Christine, you're saying? Is that I'm
Mm.
understanding that correctly?
It's up to the board what you want to do. I mean, I'm fine with whatever. So that's the first piece of information. The second piece of information I would say is even if you approved it today, it's not going to get done immediately.
Oh,
It will probably take us a little bit of time to get everything organized. I would want David to be back. And I would want the maintenance manager to be here to do that. And it may end up falling into the next fiscal year anyway.
okay. I
You
didn't
know,
know
because
if you.
we're already in the third. I mean, we'll be in the fourth quarter as of January 1st. So it's really up to the board, you know, like I'm getting a lot of push that people want these cameras.
Right.
It ebbs and flows, you know. Um, but we do have temporary cameras in buildings. We just don't have, you know, we don't have cameras everywhere. And the more court cameras are really just exterior cameras. And I don't have anybody at Moore at this point really asking me for cameras. But that could change if there's something that happens on the property. If cars get broken into or something happens, people might, you know, wish that we had had cameras on the exterior of the buildings. But I will say that when we meet with residents at Hayes Court specifically, they want cameras all over the, you know, in all the buildings and exterior and everywhere. So um, I I think it would be in the best interest of the organization to get the ball rolling. But this expense might end up landing in next year's fiscal budget anyway. And then next year we'll have to do phase two, which would be probably another $20,000. And you know, and that's really up to the board. When we do the budget process, the board might say, you know what, we want to just pay for all of them out of the reserves. We might as well spend the $80,000 and just get it done. Or you might not want to. So Claire and I are already working on next year's budget. So, and I think we're going to be, I think it's going to be, we're going to be able to engage with the board much more around the budget process this year because Claire has been really wonderful and active around understanding this. So I do think you're going to have a lot more opportunity to really understand the budget as opposed to just getting the budget and having us explain it to you. So that's not probably answering your questions. I would say if you feel comfortable voting on it, because it's coming out of the reserves, I don't think there's going to be a problem. But if you would like to wait until next month, we're meeting early next month. We're meeting on the 5th. So that's really early in January.
I do know from going when they had the safety meeting at Hayes Court, I know some of them were really scared. Yeah, I think some of them really have a legitimate fear. Yeah.
I just can't remember what Alicia and Susie's thoughts were the last time we mentioned this, but I would say I would agree to get the ball, at least get it started so any discussion for next month can be brought up. There's no finalization at this time. So I would agree, at least get the ball started for safety reasons. And then if they have any other discussions or any other thoughts going forward, then we can just, elaborate from there.
I agree with you, Gary. I agree all the way. Get the ball rolling and take it from there.
I'm unsure about get the ball rolling, if there is a step to do before approving the purchase.
I think just getting it started with this. I mean, there's no finalization at this time, right, Christine? This, we're just discussing
No, I mean,
about it.
I mean, you could have a potential motion to approve to, to fund it's $20,000, but hold on. Let me find it.
Yeah, 20,877 for the Hayes Court Community Building and 13,387 for the Moore Court exterior cameras.
So we need like a special session for that they can be in on this month, maybe? Or like I said, I'm just trying to see where if you want how soon is this? Is this? I know it's urgent, but to at least get feedback from both of them, so we're all on the same, consensus on this and agreeing or disagreeing, whichever. If we need to have further discussion on this.
Okay. I'm, I would be comfortable moving ahead, but I'm hearing the board is not entirely comfortable moving ahead without Susie and Alicia. And seeing as we have the meeting on the 5th, just a few weeks from now, maybe it makes sense to put this on the next agenda, on the next month's agenda.
Okay, that sounds good.
Yeah.
Okay.
As far as it's only a few weeks away.
Yeah, it's only a few weeks. I
Yeah.
do
Yeah.
think it's when something happens and you wish you had done it.
Mhm.
That's like the feeling that I'm
Yeah.
holding right now.
Yeah.
And then perhaps we can just send out that material just to refresh them as
Yeah,
well also.
I'll put it in the packet again.
Okay, great. All right, so we have a meeting calendar for 2026. And so we'll need to approve that. I will probably not be able to make the Monday, January the 5th meeting. Actually, I'm going to be flying, I hope, home from seeing my kids. But other than that, the dates looked fine to me.
Does anybody want to have a second meeting in January? That would be the only other question I would have. So the January 5th meeting, we could, if the board wants a second meeting, I'm not, no pressure. I just wanted to leave that as an option. We could potentially do the 26th if people would like that as well, but we don't have to. It's just, you're gonna meet on the 5th and then not meet again until the 23rd. We could always have a special meeting if we needed to do something, but I just wanted to, put that out there to the board that because it's so early, because we have to approve the annual plans. But I just wanted to leave that as an option for the board.
Thoughts on a second meeting in January?
If you wanted that, yeah, it's totally up to the board.
Like
I'm wondering
the
if
normal meeting date, because this is like a special meeting date. It'll be a normal meeting date would be the 26th, right? If we were going on
This will
schedule.
be, so the 5th will be the normal meeting for the month.
Okay,
That will be like the regular, it's not gonna, it would just be another regular meeting if we wanted to
okay.
add it. The 5th will have, I'll bring forward the information about the annual plan, which we're gonna go over in a minute. And you'll have to approve that, and the supplemental plan, and then we'll probably have a monthly comparable to review, and we'll have the camera costs. And so it'll be a light budget. It'll be a light meeting in general. It'll probably be light because the staff won't, they're not going to put more stuff together in the next couple of days. So, but we could keep it the way the schedule is here. And if you would like to have another meeting, we can always call a special meeting.
I was thinking December doesn't look it with it. How long you think it'd be like an hour, Christine, or 2 hours that
For,
special meeting?
for the
I,
January meeting?
yeah, because I was wondering if after all, before Christmas, we can have that special meeting for Jay. Because like I said, Michelle's going to be away the 5th of January for this that you want to have for while since Alicia's not here and Susie's not here for this particular thing for the safety for the cameras. Is that something we can put together before January for like a special
So
meeting?
Yeah, those are two holiday, those 22nd
Yeah,
and 29th fall into what you call your holiday
right.
weeks.
Because I really would like to have everybody aboard on this.
So first of all, I'm going to throw this out there. So like technically under a procurement policy, you don't have to approve the cameras. I could just go forward and do the cameras on my own. I could make that decision.
Okay.
This is not a mandated board piece. However, because the board had some concern, because we've been talking about the budget and I've been trying to engage you more. I wanted to pull you in on some of these costs so that when we go forward
Mhm.
with, with a costs, because you're looking at everything that's over $10,000. I wanted to just bring it to your attention. It doesn't necessarily to be honest, I don't technically need you to approve it, but I wanted to bring it to your attention because I thought it was important. So I'm getting a little, I just want to make sure, Gary, that you don't get too in the weeds of this. I mean, we have a $7 million budget. $20,000 for cameras isn't going to do, it's not going to make or break one way or the other. But I wanted to make you aware of it because it's a cost that's over $10,000 that is not a regular cost.
Right, right. That's
So
why I was
I
asking.
don't think it warrants having a special meeting. I've already brought it to the board twice.
Okay,
If the board didn't, if, I'm okay with you not approving it twice, and I can bring it to the next meeting, but I don't feel like it warrants a special meeting.
okay. No, it's just throwing it out there just to
Yeah,
see if this
I
is
just wanted
something
to
you need us
explain
a
it in a
part
way.
of.
I
No,
just want to
I
explain it because
understand that, and
yeah,
that's not it's an executive choice on your behalf.
yeah,
But you bringing it to us is shows us being a part of that decision
yeah.
making. But
I'm
I was
happy
just
with
thinking
waiting
to
till
make
the 5th.
things
It sounds like Michelle is comfortable with us going forward already. She's mentioned that
okay.
in the meeting, so we can bring those remarks to the board on the 5th.
Okay,
But it would be really hard to schedule something between now and the 5th, just because of Christmas and New Year's.
right. I just trying to see what the urgency. I'm just trying to read the terrain here to get a
Yeah,
better understanding how this is going forward. But since you explained this is just the main executive final decision comes upon you, but bringing us in on that is a good thing because it gives us the ability to give you input and insight on where we're thinking of. And it kind of helps out a lot. So that way, we have that clear conscience and know we made the right choice.
yeah, and especially now that we're looking at any expense over anything that's not listed on the budget directly, where, I'm trying to bring to the board unless it's something that just is an emergency expense like elevators or things like that. And then you'll find out when you'll get a report on that every month when you have the expenses over $10,000 list. What we're trying to decide now is just the calendar. So all I said was, if we wanted a second meeting in January, I'm open to that, but no pressure for the board. If we wanted to have a special meeting in January because we needed something after the January 5th meeting, I'm happy to do that.
Okay.
I don't feel the need to necessarily schedule another meeting in January.
Okay.
Feel like if something comes up, like you said, we can talk about it. Just pull ourselves together, but chances are this is going to be fine.
Okay. Sounds good. And then the only other notation I would make about the calendar is there will be 2 meetings in June, and that's only because we won't have a meeting in May due to scheduling conflicts.
Okay, that's good to remember and put on your calendar because Pat, I heard you say like that you've got like a mental calendar,
Mhm.
like putting the meeting at the end of the month. I do
Right.
that too. So we'll have to make a special note of June 1st.
Yeah, the Memorial Day is when our meeting lands, and then the week before that, I have a commitment that I can't have the meeting. So if that works for you all, the 1st and the 29th, I think seems like it would work.
Great. We have a motion to approve the 2026 meeting calendar.
Motion to approve it.
I second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Calendar passes. Um, Public hearing. I have a proposed motion to open a public hearing to review the proposed HUD 2026-2027 Moving to Work Supplemental Plan and the 2026 Public Housing Capital Fund Annual Plan.
So moved.
And a second,
I second it.
all in favor of opening the public hearing?
Aye.
Okay.
Thank you. There's no one here for public comment.
I'll explain if you want me to, I'm happy to give a
I
little
would love
explanation.
that.
Sure. So I'll start with the supplemental plan. So every year, because we're moving to work agency, we need to complete a supplemental plan. And every year so far, we've asked for a waiver from HUD to change something in our admin plan or the way we do our procedures. A waiver is something that you ask permission to change a rule, of HUD rule. And so this is the first year that we're actually not asking for any waivers because we actually don't have anything new to do right now. And right now we're so focused on the Melrose project, it didn't really seem to make a lot of sense to take on a new waiver of something that we need to that we don't need. And so really this is just a report of the work that we've already been doing to date. And a lot of it is report around the LEAP program, so changing the FSS program to better meet the needs of our residents. And so doing a report to HUD as the supplemental plan, which we need to do every year annually. And so this basically outlines just the results of what we've already done. So that's the first piece. And then the second piece is the capital fund. So every year we need to do an annual plan for the capital fund. And the capital fund is money that's only to be used for public housing. And the only property we have left in public housing is Melrose Terrace. So every year we get capital fund money specifically to be used at Melrose Terrace. We can't use it at Hayes Court for the cameras. We can't use it anywhere else. We have to use it at Melrose Terrace. And I think this year it's, we received $272,103. And this is just a plan that we need to submit to HUD every year annually, just showing what we're going to be using the money for. And we're going to be using it for the redevelopment of the pre-development costs for Melrose Terrace. So it's pretty straightforward.
It's like the design,
Yeah,
the planning and the design.
yeah.
Great. Questions on that or thoughts?
No.
Thank you so much, Christine.
Yeah, you're welcome.
You're good at explaining those things.
Well, I know it's a lot of stuff, and so I try and I appreciate, I want to say I appreciate the board, how much thought and energy you put into all of these things. So I never want to like push that aside, but I also want to pull it back into perspective of like where the important pieces are. And so these plans are really important, but yet they're really pretty straightforward as well. And the reason we're doing this, the reason we have that special meeting is because we need to get them in by a certain time. So they have to be in 75 days prior to the beginning of our fiscal year, which is April. So you're really planning way ahead for that April 1st date. So once they're approved on January 5th, then we upload them. We give ourselves a few days to upload them to HUD, and then we're ahead of the 75-day deadline.
May I have a proposed motion to close the public hearing?
So moved.
Second it.
And all in favor of closing public hearing?
Aye.
Thank you. Okay, getting down to the end of the agenda, information on BHOI.
So nothing new to report. The BHOI had a meeting last week that was postponed until next month, and so they have not met this month.
Do they need anything from us or?
I don't think so, not at this point. We did apply for funds through the town, through the human services budget. It's not for staffing or for the organization at all. It's really just for our dental fund, which is just grant money that goes specifically to residents through the BHOI. Residents can apply for if they are having dental work that isn't 100% covered. So which this helps with is a lot is dentures or like tooth replacement. And so we we did apply for funds through the town for that specifically, so.
So great.
Yeah.
So great. Okay. Don't think we need any other discussion on any other topics.
I don't think so.
Are we ready to adjourn, everyone? Okay, we are adjourned.
Okay,
Alrighty.
thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.